Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. It's time for us to take a look at the Transformers Masterpiece MP-20 Wheeljack figure. Or is it? Stick around and I'll explain what I mean in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back. I'm your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. It's great to see you here again, and as always, please check out Machinery of Man, the Everything Factor. Like, comment, subscribe, check me out everywhere, all of that good stuff. And we're going to jump right into this guy. I'm going to tell you now, this is the KO version. Even though the box says Takasa Tony, even though the box says Transformers Masterpiece and has the Lancia? I assume that's how you pronounce it. You know, it has the Autobot symbol. It is that MP box. This is on loan to me from Andrew, and I appreciate him letting me take a look at it. All of the junk on bottom and on top. It's a box. It is what it is. But when you get inside, and I even asked Andrew, are you sure that this is the KO version? And he assured me that yes, it was. And when you get inside, you get, of course, the collector card. And the collector card, I mean, it's a nice collector card. It's, you know, as far as collector cards go. But you'll notice what it says there on it. CMP-20. There's your first sign. There's your first sign, folks. Nice art. I mean, it's a collector card. It is what it is. I looked at the instructions, and again, it has that CMP-20 on it, and I'm kind of folding these incorrectly, but I'm not creasing anything. Right here. It is not Takasa Tony. This is the KO indeed. This is a Takasa Tony KO of the Masterpiece Wheeljack mold. And I was excited to look at this guy. I really was. I couldn't wait to look at him. In fact, boom, here he is. I could not wait to look at him. I love Wheeljack. I really do. One of my favorites. One of a lot of people's favorites. Couldn't wait to look at him. I'm going to tell you now, after looking at the knockoff Blue Streak and figuring that the official version has to even be a bit better than that, and being so impressed, I had high hopes for this guy, and they were dashed. I am not nearly as impressed with this guy as I thought that I was going to be, as I hoped that I was going to be. And I'll explain why as we go through. First of all, this is the way he comes in a package, except for these little side mirror pieces. He comes with two little side mirror pieces. The official way to put them in has them facing oddly. I'll show it. Now Andrew, he puts them in a different way, and I will put them back before I return this to him. But officially they should be put in this way, and they kind of stick off from the side. They kind of stick off from the side a little bit. They look a little odd, but you know, that's the way that they're supposed to apparently go in. He does roll like a champion. He does have nice articulation in his bot mode, but we'll get to all that. Right now we're going to talk about his paint apps. Paint apps in both modes is a 10. 10 plus. It's fantastic. I mean, you have a beautiful Autobot symbol here. You have the green and the red. Couple of fuzzy parts on the KO here. I hear that the paint is absolutely crisp on the official, and the fuzzy parts here, unless you're really looking for it, you're not really going to notice it. You have the you know, words on the front of the hood. You have the 539 on the side. I like the yellow line. I like the black down on the running boards on the sides. I like the red hubcaps. Now, I was generous when I said 10 plus. Very generous. Well, not very, just slightly generous. Because I do not like that the center of the back tires is red, the center of the front tires is a silver screw. either use a red screw or paint the center of the back tire silver. That asymmetrical look drives me absolutely bonkers. But it is, you know, a very small price to pay. You have nice tail lights. It's an extremely small price to pay. You know, here he is next to a G1 version that doesn't have the top. I'm not gonna lie to you. I found this guy as a kid, and he did have the two back pieces. I don't know where they're since gone, 30 years later. And he did have his wing pieces that went underneath. I haven't looked at this guy in a review yet, but I certainly will, and talk more about all of that then. But you know, here they are. And for a mold that I absolutely love, here he is with the Classics Universe version. I don't have the Combiner Wars version. Again, the car mode of that looks really good, but you know, this gives you a good idea. I did add the 539 here. I did look at Wheeljack here a long time ago, back in episode 101. I love this mold. I love this guy. Even though this is the, you know, this is the version, the car version that is certainly more accurate, being the Masterpiece version. Here's how they both look front on. You know, obviously this has far more detail than this. It is what it is. Holding both of them up slightly. There you go. So you can see how they compare there, if you can even call it a comparison. So paint, fantastic. He has rubber tires. Is it? No, they're plastic. I thought that they were rubber. I'll be. They are plastic tires. But he does roll great. Now he comes with this silver hand blaster. It's nice. It doesn't really fit in his hand very well at all. And it's supposed to peg underneath right here and hold in right there like that as a tailpipe. It does it on the actual MP. The tolerance is slightly off here. It does not do it here. You could do it if you shave down the little tabs on the side of the handle. If you shave those down, you would probably be able to kind of fake the fit. But it was only off by a millimeter or two. That is all. He also comes with his shoulder mounted cannon thing. This. See if I can bring it up closer here. Here you go. This thing. What can I say about it? See if it'll focus a little better. What can I say about it? You know, it's okay. It's all right. Now, I've heard a lot of complaints that the KO version flops. Andrew's doesn't. The piece here on the front does not actually fire at all. It does fit in there, but there's no actual spring firing mechanism. And there's a little hole right here, just past the hood, I guess, just starting to go down on the back. And you can store this in there. It still stores in this mode. Maybe Andrew does do it. But you know, here's what you get for storage there. If you like that. I know I would leave this off in that mode. And he comes with this, which only came with some of them. I'm sure you can buy it third party. This is a toolbox that he came with, or at least some of the versions of this guy came with it. I think the ones in Japan came with this. It is basically a toolbox likened after the Hypno Chip disabler thing that he used in the Ultimate Doom, if you remember that episode. It's nice that it was included here. I love the paint on it. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful blue paint on that. And he holds it just fine. That's it. That's it for accessories. We will get into transformation and then we will talk about articulation. Okay, so where do I even begin with this guy? Let's get a couple of things out of the way first. I said right at the very get-go, that I was kind of disappointed with this guy. And I nitpicked there about his tires. I would either have to paint the inside silver or I'd have to paint those screws red. I have to. Here's the thing that gets me, and yes, I know that this is a KO. I'll talk about the official Masterpiece as we go through. But here's my thought process, and here's why I'm critical on it. This is a masterpiece. Masterpiece by definition means perfection. I should have to do absolutely nothing with this. Right away, a huge strike against is the fact that I need to do something with it. This is, you know, if you're talking about the official Masterpiece, that's... what, an $80 figure, American, and with the exchange rate and delivery and taxes and everything else, you're not going into this line, folks. And I respect the people that are Masterpiece collectors because they have very discerning tastes. I get that, I appreciate that. But you are making a substantial investment. With a substantial investment, I expect something that's called Masterpiece to be perfect. This is not. So let's get into the transformation. All of that said, where do we even begin with this? Well, I would say kind of give it a little bit of a crack and pick this piece up right away. Get that up and out of the way. Next, it says in the instructions to take these and flip them out, and then you can extend the legs. You can't do that with the KO version because this is extremely tight. I find you can't. I guess you could, maybe. Okay, you can pick this out. I don't know if it's as tight in the official. I would like to think that it's snug, but that it's not as tight. It's really, really, really tight here. And we extend the legs, or we should be able to extend the legs. Again, according to the instructions, which I don't feel like are necessarily the best method of doing this guy. And again, I like... That's one of those lamps, one of those rear view mirrors right there. So you take that and wiggle it out, I guess. Take this and do the same and wiggle it out. And now this entire section in back, this entire waist section, this can come down. Fold the legs back, bring the entire waist section down. At this point, you should be able to pull the legs down and you should be able to kind of move these doors because they're going to become the back of the legs. So we'll do that now. Door flips back just like that. Door piece flips back just like that. And then the legs extend down and extend down. Then you got to come to the back and you're going to want to fold out this white piece and fold out this white piece and bring down the doors on the back of the leg and fold them in. Bring it down, fold it in. When you fold it in, there's a little peg in right here that goes into a little slot, a little round hole down right there. So we will put that in next. And same on the other side, we will put that in next, like that. Take this piece and fold it all the way around so it becomes the foot. Take this piece and you don't just fold it down, you fold it all the way around to become the foot. And really that's the bottom of this guy done. And I'll give credit where credit is due. He is stable. I guess for now, we'll also take the side mirror piece here and we will put that back in. I kind of don't know why. You know what? There's part of me that says I don't know why these weren't glued in. I know why. Because they're going to come out as you're transforming this guy. That's what we have done. Lower body is done. It's a good lower body. I have one of those sport drinks to kind of help me through here. Not an energy drink, one of those sport drinks. The legs are solid. Granted, where this is a KO, this knee is a little, you know, like this. But it's solid. He's not going anywhere. Now we come to, and this is the part that I don't mind. What's done so far, I don't mind that part of the transformation. I think it's actually pretty good, quite tight. Like I said, I think tolerances hopefully are a little bit better on the official. Now we come to the upper body. And how do we handle the upper body of this guy? Good question. Well, normally you would, see if I can angle this back a bit. Normally you would remove the pistol that makes a exhaust pipe from there, and I guess you would be able to flip this piece down for now. No big deal. And you're going to come up to the section where the arms are together, and you're going to split them for now as well. There. Now you want to see if I can even show this. Okay, so here are his shoulders. Here are his shoulders in here. So we're going to take this whole piece and we're going to flip it back so that we can actually access his shoulders. And you're going to take the shoulders and you're going to flip it out and you're going to flip it out. No problem so far. We're doing good. You can even open up the chest and flip up the head. The easiest way to flip up the head, by the way, is not to kind of pick the head, but if you go back underneath here, you can kind of push the face out and push the head up. And then you can grab it and flip it all the way up and close the chest again. Beautiful head sculpt. Absolutely, absolutely beautiful head sculpt. Right there. Gorgeous, gorgeous head sculpt. Absolutely love it. There's a screw in the back of the head. If you remove the screw from the back of the head, the front should come off and it shows like a mustached face underneath. This isn't mine, so I'm not going to take the screw out. I don't know if this head is glued together or just held together with the screw or what. But I assume that if you took this head apart, you would still have that mustached face underneath. So we will lay him back here for now. And that's where we're to. That's where we're currently to. Okay, so lower body done, head is up. I talked about the head. Now we need to deal with these shoulders. And the shoulders come all the way down. Okay? You flip them out and you bring them all the way down. Beautiful. By the way, this little arm here is, I think it's supposed to be on a spring, and it goes up into a little spot here. It's where you put that shoulder cannon in vehicle mode. If you take the shoulder cannon out of it, I think this is supposed to flip right back up into position. It doesn't really do it on the KO. I've heard that it does on the official. I guess that's supposed to be spring loaded, and it's not. But that's neither here nor there. Now we need to take these hands. We'll deal with the hands next. And the hands are, they're interesting. How do I want to deal with these hands? Let's try and show it like this. These hands, you got to take this back fin piece and turn it up like that. Take this fin piece and you turn it like that. These are basically now on the back of the forearm. Then you unpeg the arm from the shoulder piece and you unpeg the arm from the shoulder piece. No problem so far. And you straighten the hand out and you straighten the hand out. Great. Now we'll worry about dealing with that after. Now, the instructions say to fold this piece, this little black tab piece, all the way up. On the KO, that's not exactly what's supposed to happen, and there's a kind of U-shaped section inside here. You need to get that black piece as close to the bottom of this U shape as you can. It's hit or miss. If you can do it, you're golden. If you can't do it, you're going to have extremely floppy arms, the likes of which are probably the worst arm assembly I've ever seen. And I got it in there well. To secure it extra, we'll deal with that in a second. Next you have his little wing pieces on the back. His wing piece flips up like this and flips up like this. And then you take this and you bend it at the first armature, bring it in, and there's a little tab down here that goes into a slot. And we're just about done. We are just about done with Wheeljack. All you really need to do now is take the arm and turn it around. Take the arm and turn it around so that the elbow is facing forward. And now take the fist and orient them the correct way. Take this fist and orient it the correct way. And in the end, boom, you have Wheeljack in his robot mode. Even though he's standing a little bit wonky there now. And that's my doing. That's not, I think that's my doing. There you go. Now, I feel like the transformation, kind of as smooth as it looked there, is actually sort of fiddly. Everything tabs in well, but tabs in too tight, at least on the KO. If the tolerances are no better on the official, then that's a problem as far as I'm concerned. It's a lot of times I'm scared I'm going to break something. I haven't, and the material seems really good, but it's like every tolerance is off by half a millimeter or something, ever so slight. I do not like the fact that you need to get that, I guess, centerpiece through his body into the U in order to have his shoulders be stable. Otherwise they flop like nobody's business. I've heard that on the actual version you don't do that because the way it lines up is like this. There's a little hole up on this shoulder and there's a little tab in on the windshield, and the little hole will go into the little tab, and my shoulders just came out again. See? 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 That's a problem. This is a masterpiece. That shouldn't be the case. Even if this is a KO. That's unfortunate. If the real one has the same problem, then that's unacceptable. If the real one does not have the same problem, then I'm still concerned about the notion that there's only little tiny pieces that notch into a little spot, even though the back tab's in. If you drop this the wrong way, if it falls off the shelf the wrong way, and one of those little tabs breaks, then you're losing a locking point for the shoulders. To me, that's poor engineering. I think it's unacceptable. I don't like it. Enough that if I paid $100 or more for this guy, and that is what I had to lock the shoulders, I would be extremely disappointed. Now, because that just happened and the shoulders came loose, I'm going to try and deal with this again. There, I think I have it again now. But that shouldn't happen. I'm sorry, to me that's really disappointing. That absolutely ruins the toy. His transformation, because I find it fiddly, because I don't like the fact that right now his shoulders are locked, but with the wrong move they can become loose. I'm giving his transformation a 6 at best. I don't think it's great. Not a fan. Now that we've got him in you know, his robot mode and looking as fine as he's gonna look, let's take a look at his accessories. Again, he comes with this. It is his shoulder mount. It goes in a rectangular slot up on his shoulder like this, and it can angle up. I've heard of a lot of these on the KO version falling down basically. He also comes with, as I pointed out earlier, this, and yes, he can hold it in his hand just fine. You do have to sort of make sure that the fingers are open and sort of angle it in around. You have to put it in his hand and wrap his fingers around. He will hold it just fine. I mean, it's loose, but it's fine. It's certainly not coming out. Then we have his blaster again, and just like it didn't fit in vehicle mode, it really doesn't fit here because I mean, it's off by micrometers. It's off by maybe a millimeter. I'm sure that it fits fine in the hand of the official Masterpiece, and you know, he can hold it here. in the KO version. So this is one of those imperfections that I'm not going to levy against the official, because it's obviously due to this mold being off ever so slightly. But there he is with all of his accessories. So we'll take them out of it again. And we'll talk about him in a little more totality here now. And really what my issue is with this guy. And why I think he's good, but just not quite good enough. Posability, playability, he rolls excellent as a car. His head goes left, it goes right, it can look up, it can look down. Love it. We'll deal with the shoulders last. He does have a waist joint. Love it. Legs go well out, legs go well back. Beautiful 90 degrees at the knee, and we have even ankle tilt, very deep ankle tilt actually. You don't need any more than that, that's for sure, folks. You have a thigh swivel, so all of that is fantastic, and really like virtually no backpack. That is extremely, extremely nice. I dig all of that. The shoulders can go all the way around. Well, if you get these back wing pieces, which can also articulate, if you get the back wing pieces down and out of the way, this goes all the way around, right? The arm goes all the way around. It can go out. It can swivel. There's a nice 90 degrees. There is wrist articulation. The thumb doesn't move. The four fingers are hinged at the first knuckle, upright here. And hit or miss, you might get a butterfly joint because these arm sections may or may not come out on you. Excellent articulation. 9.5, but you gotta know that you could have shoulder issues. Now, as far as I'm concerned, this guy should be, because he's a masterpiece, he should be a 10 across the board. If he's not a 10 across the board, not interested. I can accept stylized Transformers. I can accept imperfections when I'm paying $10, $15, $20, $25 for a figure. When I'm paying $100 for a figure that is, basically, when I'm paying $100 for a figure that is basically Voyager size, this is him next to the Titans Return Sentinel Prime, I expect this to be absolutely perfect. This guy I paid, $30 for. I expect him to have problems. It's a $30 toy. It's not going to be perfect. I accept that, and I think that that's fine. That's cool. But, I paid a lot of money for something like Hegemon. I paid a lot of money for something like Mania King, and you know what? I feel like that they were worth it. I feel like that they're pretty fantastic. For this, I don't call it masterpiece if it's not absolutely a 10 right across the board. And this isn't a 10 right across the board. It's good. It's good. Overall score for this guy, honestly, it's probably about an 8, maybe an 8.5. But I was so excited to get him, I wanted Wheeljack to be a 10. Here he is next to his G1 self again. This piece is missing, but that's how they look in the G1 one with his huge gorilla arms. Obviously this Masterpiece is more, or Masterpiece knockoff, Masterpiece style is more animation accurate. But to be perfectly honest with you, for me, for Wheeljack, I like this guy. I like the classics. It is a deluxe size. It cost me less than $20, and guess what? His head still goes left and right, and he still has shoulders that go way out, and he has a bicep swivel, and he has wrist articulation, he has a deeper elbow, he has a double elbow, he still has a waist, he still has, 90 degrees at the knees and a thigh swivel, he even still has ankle tilts. And I don't find him as fiddly and finicky as I do with the Masterpiece styled one. Like I said, it's good, it's not perfect. If you like this guy, if you have him, if you adore him, I can't blame you. I really can't. I wanted to love this guy so much, especially after my first great experience with Blue Streak. But when I handled this guy, I was disappointed in the shoulders. I was disappointed in the shoulders, and the fact that the center of the back tires doesn't match the center of the front tires drives me nuts. And I don't like having to line up that centerpiece, at least on the KO version, in order to attempt to lock the arms in. It's a piece that you can't really see during transformation. To me, that's a fail. Like I said, wanted to love this guy. I would love to get my hands on some more official and unofficial Masterpiece style figures, just to see if my attitude softens. Maybe it will. Maybe it will. Who knows? Maybe I can be swayed. But as far as the CMP-20 Wheeljack goes, overall, like I said, he's about an 8. And to me, that's just not quite good enough for a Masterpiece. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you love him. Let me know if you hate him. Let me know if you think I'm being a little too critical. Maybe I am. Who knows? Anyway, that ties it up for this one. I always appreciate when you guys come by and give me a little bit of your time. And hopefully this has proven to be one of those reviews that was a little bit unpredictable and a little bit surprising, because I think a lot of people really kind of jumped over this guy and jumped through hoops with excitement over him. I'm not one of them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I certainly look forward to the next time that we get together for another visit right here inside the videos.